Beijing's desire to turn the South China Sea into a personal lake for President Xi Jinping is getting pushback from an unexpected source, the United States Marine Corps. When people think of the Marines, they generally think of assault troops and aggressive attacks on fortified positions, so sea control might seem a stretch for the Corps. But Marines are adaptive. Actually, the Marines are going back to the future. The seizure and defense of advanced naval bases has been a major part of the Marine Corps' mission for over a century, but since World War II, the seizure portion, better known as amphibious warfare, has overshadowed the defensive mission. The Marine Corps Commandant, Gen. David Berger, is rebalancing the Marine Corps for a closer integration with the Navy after the two sea services had drifted apart for several decades. To understand this, we need to understand the threat posed by Chinese buildup in the Indo-Pacific region. For 3 decades, Chinese military planners have worked on an access denial, sometimes known as an anti-Navy, strategy designed to control areas that they want to influence by keeping the superior U.S. fleet and associated air power away. From their perspective, it makes sense. Chinese strategists watched the former Soviet Union bankrupt itself trying to build a blue water navy to compete with the United States. They also studied how mobilized U.S. industrial might build a fleet quickly to overwhelm the excellent Japanese Navy during World War II. The Chinese planners surmised that they could impose their will on their neighbors, which they traditionally have viewed as tributaries, not by destroying U.S. military power in the region, but by making it too expensive to operate there. Since World War II, American sea power has been built around a combination of large aircraft carriers and submarines backed up by the threat of amphibious landing ships, also large and vulnerable. Chinese leaders believe that they can leverage modern overhead reconnaissance to target America's relatively small number of large vessels and negate huge U.S. air bases in places like Japan, South Korea and Guam. Then, they can gain regional air and sea control without having to build an expensive blue water fleet. A combination of relatively cheap unmanned aircraft, anti-ship missiles, diesel submarines, and manned bombers is seen by Beijing as good strategic investment. China, like the United States, is a nation of business people. A navy that breaks the bank is seen as a poor investment.